Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to the Universal Energy Forecast for this week, November the 16th. Boy, didn't the year go by so fast? It's just been amazing. So before I talk about what the wisdom of the Oracle cards are telling us, I do want to mention, because a few people have asked, what is the Universal Energy Forecast? And what I have found is if you're watching this, it's like this is an oracle for you. And rather than predicting or prophesizing, which is not what I'm doing, specific events, what we're doing is we're tracking energy. And what that means is that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, ideas, or questions that you might have about certain aspects of your life will be something you're going to have in common with other people. And that's more of a collective thing. So we're doing this on behalf of the collective. And of course, individually, it's going to vary from person to person. So if you look at a universal energy forecast as something to think about this week upcoming and see how it applies to you, you'll be able to find something at least that you would feel would be accurate to your personal growth or your experience of the outer world. So with that in mind, let's talk about the story that might be affecting you this week. So the first card is TikTok in the protection position. And when TikTok, the card is in the protection position, and Coco Doozy, do you want to go down? And what it means is that if you feel like you're running out of time or that your desires have not been manifest in appropriate timing in your timetable, or if you feel like you've worked so hard and you've been banging your head against the wall and nothing seems to be happening, or if you feel like you should be somewhere other than you are. This card reminds us all that there is no timetable and that what is yours cannot be withheld from you. So your highest good can never be taken away from you. That the experiences that you're co-creating with Spirit are going to come in the form that is right for you, as well as being reflected by your subconscious program or conditioned mind. So a lot of the times when you find yourself repeating the same thing over and over again, it's not because the world outside is victimizing you, it's because you have an expectation that something is going to happen that way. So when TikTok is in the protection position, I'm also going to invite you, and myself included, to ask yourself, where are you expecting failure if you're constantly thinking like it's never going to happen, never going to happen, never going to happen? And when can you just embody your success today? Because ultimately we become attractive to that which we expect. So owning, I guess, the result in advance is a really good way of moving past TikTok. And it really does just say you have all the time in the world. There's Spirit's timetable and there's your timetable, and they're not usually on the same page. All right, so to the sea is the next card, and to the sea represents flow. And it's in the upright position, so it really just is a very simple card about going with the flow. And if we follow suit of the first card in the protection position, where we realize, you know what, there's time for everything. I need to be accountable and responsible for my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. See what it is that I am focusing on, and trusting that the timetable is in divine appropriate timing, and what is mine cannot be withheld from me. So I can now go with the flow. And the flow of events from the outer world, also the flow of internal events. That's really key, because the inside reflects on the outside. And most of the time we do it the opposite way. We look at the outside to see where we're at when we're really not there. We can change our inside first. So the good thing to do right now is just trust. Don't worry about what's not in front of you yet. Just trust that if you embody that energy, and if you intend this, and you start to own it, you start to feel differently, and then you start to put out a different frequency, and then you start to manifest these things. Now we come to the third card, which is the card Why. Now I love this card because when it comes up, it's asking you to check your motives. So if I were to apply this to my life, for example, I would say to myself this week, I have to ask, why am I in a rush? Or why am I so willing to work with so-and-so? Am I doing it for the right reasons? Or am I looking for a shortcut? Or, is this in true alignment with my authentic self? So that's what I would do. So for you, you might say to yourself, well, I just got this job offer, and you think there's a lot of money attached to it, and prestige, money, property, and prestige is typically the thing that gets all of us into a little bit of trouble. So I say, is this in alignment with my true self? Is this what I really want to do? I had a great conversation with a friend of mine today who said they turned down this really fancy modeling job because it wasn't in alignment with their beliefs and their values at this time. And so those are the kind of things that this brings us to, is to recognize what are our true values. Because then when you know your motives and your values behind your intentions, well then everything gets very clear, and you can say no to the superfluous things that show up for you that may mirror or reflect an old self that might have chosen that in the past, but you want to create a new life for yourself, which of course is what the last card is, which is new life. So whatever you do this week is going to create or coalesce into an experience that feels like something brand new is happening for you. So I feel that if you're watching this and if you are in alignment with what I'm talking about and you do these things and you think about these things this week, I do believe that you are going to have an amazing experience. Anyway, until I talk to you next week, have a wonderful week. God bless you. And be good to yourself. Bye-bye. So if you like the Universal Energy Forecast, well, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and don't forget to share this with your friends too. Love you lots.
Traveling down the road, I didn't know that I was lost. I had tried too many shortcuts, and the cost left my heart broken. So I had it closed for